Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words, become much more articulate. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about the soft-spoken leader. Can you be soft-spoken and still be a leader? I believe the answer is yes. Although I will not recommend it, I think you should be somewhat vocal if you are going to be a leader. I would say that you could be soft-spoken and be a leader. Because what is the primary goal of a leader? It is to create direction. Now, how you create that direction will be up to you. And you can't just create a direction in your mind's eye, and that's about it. Eventually, you're going to have to communicate this to your employees, your followers, your household, etc. And that's when the strategies will differ. Some people, they have this strong, powerful voice where it's hard to interrupt them. When they are speaking, other people forcefully stay quiet because they're like, if we try to interrupt this guy, we will get trampled over. So for this person, their leadership technique to communicate their direction is through being loud, being vocal. Now for other groups of people, their voice comes out in a certain way where it's easier to interrupt them. And when this is the situation, rather than being loud, you can be what I call a persistent, soft-spoken communicator. Because people don't have grit when it comes to communication skills nowadays. When they get interrupted once, they're like, you know what, I guess this isn't my conversation. I'm not going to say anything else. They get interrupted once in a Zoom call and they say, I'm out of here. Where you, if you are soft-spoken, or let's say your voice isn't that booming, where it's somewhat easier to interrupt you, you need to be persistent. You need to be a pest where you need to consistently make your ideas be known. In the beginning, whenever you're starting a role or whenever you're doing something, you may not have too much knowledge on it. And whenever everything is sounding like gibberish, you can't necessarily give direction. But when you start to figure out certain words, when you're in meetings now, it no longer sounds like gibberish. This is when you need to be that pest who continues to communicate. You may be interrupted 9 times, but that does not mean that the next time you are going to be interrupted. And this is why you just want to be that pest who keeps going out of their way to communicate their ideas. And you'll be surprised that there will be times when you think you're going to get interrupted, but you're not. You'll see that it is not personal. Just because you were interrupted before does not mean that you will be interrupted now. And when you make that realization, that is when being a soft-spoken leader, it's not going to necessarily harm you as much as you think. It's really about getting your ideas out there. There's a certain direction that you have for how you want this company, this household, this organization to be ran. And that is when you keep going out of your way to express whatever thoughts that you have to the external world. You keep doing this over and over again, you will eventually understand that being a leader isn't about getting on a table and jumping up and down. It's not about giving a hoorah speech. It's about giving others clarity at will. And when you can do something like that, then it doesn't really matter that you are a soft-spoken leader. Although, over time, I recommend you overcome that. You don't view yourself as this shy person. You view yourself as this powerful person. That's something that you will eventually grow into. But for now, be a pest. Consistently get your ideas out there. It doesn't matter how many times you are interrupted. Just because you were interrupted 9 times does not mean you'll be interrupted the 10th time. If you enjoyed today's talk, drop that like for me right on below. Hit subscribe, hit that bell notification, and never miss another episode again. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll catch you next time.